You have created a monster and it will destroy you.
She's alive! Alive!
I am Dracula.
Welcome, Monster Manorites. We're going to have a good show. We're working out the bugs. As many of you know, we had some audio issues and streaming issues. We're with a new streaming platform, so there might be a few bugs. But hopefully, the audio situation has worked out. So let us know. Tell us how that's going. But we're going to be in a party, kind of a party mode here. As many of you know, we have been doing the Road to Phantasm, and we've had some amazing guests that are also going to be appearing at Phantasm in just a couple of days. So if you're watching this live as a subscriber, that's coming up fast. September 15th through 17th, and it's in Orlando, Florida. No excuse not to come. You're right there by Universal Studios at the Doubletree. So I have with me a bunch of the people, meaning two, because they basically do everything for those departments, here tonight to kind of celebrate in this, because we're coming up fast. So without further ado, I will introduce you to first Tony. Tony Greco is the face behind Phantasm, has been for the last, 3 shows. This will be the 4th. So, what's it like, man, being the 4th one out? Any bugs that you've had to work out for the 4th time?
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah.
But, you work through them, you bust your butt, you try to make everything better, you work through all the adversity, and you just keep plugging along. You just make it better, bigger and better.
That's all you can do. And I mean, over the last 5 years, there's been such a change in kind of the landscape with cons, because there used to be one, and now they're all popping up.
Yeah.
What change in your approach do you have with something like that? Do you just keep doing your own thing, or is it about morphing and getting out there?
Well, yeah, you want to get out there. You want to put the word out there, and you want to get more buzz to any particular show that you're doing. We just try to do it a little bit differently, try to make it go back to the old way cons were, because I grew up going to the Star Trek conventions and the littler cons and, Necronomicon and things like that, and just try to make it a little less of the corporate feel, try to make it a little more personal, a little more, I don't want to say family oriented, but more of a family, more togetherness. Yeah.
That's honestly one of the things that impressed me the most, coming in. I joined a year late, but it was such a family environment. Everyone really loved what they were doing, and the way that you handle the guests, the celebrities, and everything, it's not like the normal shows. They're not just cattle either. They're a part of the family.
Yeah, you came in on our second year, which was, at 2 years after the first year, because you had 2020, you had to skip. But yeah, we just, try to make it to where it's not, go do this, go do that, go do this. We're just trying to do it a little bit differently, trying to make it, more, like you said, more of the family,
Yeah. And it seems like the celebrities, they definitely appreciate that, because I heard nothing but good things the last 2 shows. It's been different, I mean, they went at their own pace. They enjoyed meeting the fans. So, I mean, you're not going to get a better environment. And this year, it's a very special reunion as well.
Yep. The 35th anniversary of Night of the Demons.
Yep. I mean, if you're a fan of that film, this is like legendary, because you have half of the cast, the director, and a special effects artist that worked on the film.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest ones. Definitely, I think the biggest one that's been in Florida. So, it was, the anniversary was just a couple days ago. So, the actual day. So, we hit it right on the mark.
Yeah, you couldn't be closer, though.
Yeah, right. I know, right?
So,
yeah, I think if it wasn't the fact that it was in the middle of the week, it would have been.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to it. As you know, we've had a lot of them, a lot of the celebrity guests on our show, and they're all awesome people. I mean, they are just great. They're wonderful with sharing information and memories. And Hal Havens was a hoot. Everyone's been great. Tamara was great. Kevin Tenney, the director, he was fantastic. A lot of information. We almost went 2 hours with him. Yeah. So, they're going to get their money's worth at this show.
Well, you like going back to how you said that how we handle things, you handle things differently too on your show. So it's that same kind of find something that works, find a reason that people want to come and want to, keep coming back. And that's what we're trying to go for. So
yeah, different isn't bad.
It too. What's that?
Different isn't bad. I mean, a lot of times that will be what sets you apart.
Correct. Yep.
So, I mean, that's what impressed me, and I know that the people that come to Phantasm, they expect that different feel. It's not like you're a cattle call type of thing. It's more laid back. It's definitely more enjoyable.
Yeah, so this will be your 3rd year, so we're glad to have you back. And
oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're growing together as far as that goes. Yep. So, what are you looking forward to? I know you're the promoter and everything, but what are you looking forward to most at this special weekend?
Well, I want, like I said, obviously the Night of the Demons is a big reunion. We want everyone to come and have a great time. I know the cast is, they seem very excited to be here. They're looking forward to getting back together and things like that. We've got other guests that are coming, some for the first time to Florida. Mm-hmm. We want everyone to have a good time. We want everyone to have fun. We want everyone to come. We want to grow as a show. We want to keep putting these things on for you. So, We've got the film festival. We've got bands. We've got, paranormal guests coming, paranormal track and a paranormal section. So it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, and against all odds, we have the Savior Impala. I didn't know all that went on behind the scenes with poor Paul.
Yeah, Paul, he's a great guy. He's a trooper, and he had a rough go the past couple months with the car and everything, but it's on track, and we're glad to have him back. This is he's been to every show. He's been all 4. Yeah, it's
and
funny
he's a
because you get
guy.
the 2020, you get that skip, and you forget that there was one before that. So.
Right. Well, I think a lot of people were happy just to blank that year out of our memories anyway. Right. So hopefully it's just been 4 years in a row.
Yep.
But
nonstop.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said nonstop. It's just plugging away nonstop.
Yeah. Any last minute stuff that you're stressing over now you can kind of vent to us and
well, just trying to get it all set up. I know they're down there right now putting some tables up and things like that and sound system, and we're getting ready to hit the ground running tomorrow. Tomorrow's when the mad dash, really begins. Right.
I definitely want to mention a couple of people that couldn't be on the stream. One of them was Ashley, of course. Ashley Draven was your social media director and saw a presence out there with that, which that was tremendous. I mean, we had a lot more interaction and stuff than we have in previous years.
That's good. Yeah, she's great. She came on board and she's been really, really putting the hammer down and doing everything she can, and we appreciate it. She's a sweetheart. She's great. Yeah, she couldn't be on right now. She had to go take care of some things and get some stuff to bring back to the show, but she'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah. And there's another name that I have to always throw in there because she's more the guest relations. But Michelle, she has been a gangbuster when it came to wrangling all of that.
Yep. That's why you were saying how the guests really seem to, they have a good thing to say. She's a big part of that. She treats everybody, make sure they have their schedules, make sure they know where to go, treats them great. That's what we want. We don't want them to just have to, okay, you've got this to do at this time and this to do at that time and be here. And she just takes care of everyone great. Her whole team is amazing.
Yeah. She's your producer lady.
Oh, she is definitely top tier. She's one of the main ones for sure.
And she's had a lot of challenges this year too.
Yep.
So just the fact that she has pulled everything that she has is just nothing short of a miracle. I mean, that's the thing is people love this show so much. We've all done it through challenges, and I think people are going to see that in the final product.
Yeah, she's a warrior and she pushes herself to the limit. She's always working. She does, and she busts her butt to make sure that what she does works. Make sure everything falls into place. Everybody that works on this show really is the reason that the show is as good as it is, and as making it better each year. So
Yeah,
all of them.
yeah.
Of course, Shelly down here in the corner. She's
Definitely. Well, we're going to get to Shelly because Shelly is a big part of that as well. But luckily she's on the show. So after the break, I know we're coming up on our first commercial break, but we'll talk to Shelly about the second year or fourth year now for the Shock Reel Film Festival, which is a unique venture at shows of this size.
Yep, I can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, I look forward to it because last year we had the privilege of, kind of judging and seeing the films ahead of time. But, this time we kind of took a little bit easier because we had so much else to do behind the scenes. But that's an exciting part of it as well. So when we come back from the break, we will talk to Shelly about that. And we're going to talk to everyone about the things that are going on at Fantasm because there's literally something going on in every room. So we're going to take a short break, maybe a little bit early so we can get into the meat and potatoes of this. But when we come back, we'll talk more with the gang from Fantasm.
Fantasm Orlando returns to the Doubletree by Hilton at Universal Studios on Kirkman Road in Orlando with a very special Night of the Demons reunion featuring legendary scream.
You are totally watching Monster Manor TV. Keep watching.
Thank you for waiting through the commercials with us. We're excited about this weekend. Everyone is kind of abuzz, and yes, it's stressful, and yes, it's crazy, but it's one of those times a year that we can all kind of come together and welcome in the Halloween season and do it with friends and family. I know that Tony and Shelly have both become family through this chaos that is putting on shows. So without further ado, we're going to bring on our second guest, Shelly, who is in charge of the Shock Reel Film Festival.
Hey everyone, how are you doing?
Doing good.
Very good. We've missed you. I know you have been very busy with all the films. Does it ever get old seeing these independent films come through for judging?
Never. That is the one thing, if I could change anything else, some things are a little annoying and plain, but watching the films are the best part because sometimes it's like completely different from what I would have thought, and the creativity and seeing how somebody can do like so much with so little, or even just, that's the one thing as a person who loves movies I've always loved. So seeing this just gives me something I get to do and like a focused reason to do it.
Yes, and you see the same names come through quite often, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And we do like our Florida, usually the ones that we see coming around a lot are usually Florida based, but we like some of the other ones too, that we've gotten one or two that's from outside of Florida that's repeating. But yeah, I like that actually a little bit more because you get to see their growth from film to film because there is a lot of different things. Sometimes a person might be really good at one thing and then it's like it doesn't feel right, and then you can see where their critique and they talked to another filmmaker, kind of worked on something, and you saw that change. And I find that's the most amazing thing ever. I see Petra's films. She's been with, at least for the 3 years I've been, and I think every time I see her new films, I can see like improvements each time. And I've seen it for other ones too. I just pointed Petra because I was thinking of her. She's always the most unique person in the room. She lights it up. But that's what I like seeing is the development of someone's films and then you get to see them every year. And usually Petra's one of those people we see every year, and we really like talking to people and them returning. In fact, one of the people from last year, I don't know if you remember from the red carpet, but there was a guy who did an animation, and he was with his girlfriend.
Yes.
They are now engaged.
Okay, so I'm going to call Boris off.
Well,
cool
they're engaged now. So he sent me their engagement announcement and stuff. And just being able to say, hey, I got to see him in there. And I saw him at another festival in between. Those are the type of things I like more than anything. Seeing these people and getting off on their energy and their films, and then kind of continuing to see that growth every year. So I like it, obviously.
Man, well, I'm excited to see. Any other familiar names that we would recognize from last time?
Well, I'm going to point out ones, and I cannot pronounce their names, but the brothers that Boris was talking, they are coming back.
Yes, I heard we were going to get to see Titanium Steve again.
Yes, you will definitely see them. So they are excited as well. They're preparing. Yeah, they're premiering their newest film. Actually Sunday. So, but they'll be up and they'll probably join us on Saturday. We know how they love having fun with you guys. So hopefully they can maybe even make it Friday night, even to see Boris on his own entertaining night of shows and entertainingness.
Yes, that's going to be, letting Boris have his reign, not only on the red carpet, which I know he's been really working on that diligently, but then his movie, though, that we went back and forth on that movie because it was controversial back in its day because that was 1934. Yeah. But it was like one of those notoriously bad films that you have to see at least once in your life.
Oh, of course. And
I think we're up to the fifth time that we've seen it.
Oh my God!
I've seen it more times than I ever needed to see that movie.
Yeah.
Well,
Once
now I own a physical copy of it more time. A physical copy to own forever, just for our entertainment for everyone Friday night. So that's definitely a must-see thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I hope everyone can show up for that because I know Friday nights we're open later, so you'll actually have people running around looking for stuff to do. Check out the many tracks that are there, and Boris's is going to be absolutely hilarious. We have a cast of 10s. We've got some special guests coming in to give him a hard time. So it's kind of like a little preview of the Boris's Spooky Fun Time movie show that we're going to be planning for later this year.
Yeah, and just to even switch it up even more, we're doing in the film festival room. This is part of our slumber party night. So some of us are wearing our pajamas. I'm going to be in my Nightmare Before Christmas onesie. Different members of my group and my team are wearing theirs. I hear Michelle's got something going, so we might have enough of a good group of people wearing their onesies or their PJs. It does not have to be a onesie, so feel free to come in some sort of clothing or nightwear.
Yes, and please, if you sleep in the nude, pick something else.
Yeah.
But I know I had to give Boris that warning because, he was like, what am I going to wear, but I think he picked something that people will dig.
Well, we were thinking about the other day when that other podcast, we were thinking about his little Boris little figure he had last year, and it was wearing a little nightgown. So I was like,
yes,
that's the one
he's going to be making an appearance as well.
Oh, perfect. Then it'll be like a perfect night of that.
Yes, and now we are, not to go on with the dolly thing so much, but, Boris recently gifted us with my first potato head as a person. So that was kind of cool. What did he call it?
Fenster-tater.
Fenster-tater. So he gave that on the show. I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes back because he can't make it to every one of them. But we're actually going to make this one debut at the show. He presented Producer Lady with this one, and that's prune deucer lady.
Oh, I get it.
So that's why she's got that purple tone, but she has the Uzi, she has the throwing weapons, and
Yeah, I got a crowbar and a laptop.
the chancla.
Mine came with accessories.
Oh my god.
Yes. So he's pulling out all the stops, but yeah, I think it's going to be a fun time, and we can't wait to see all the cool movies, because like you said, it always ramps up. Every year it gets better and better.
Yeah, I just love the creativity and the different options. Like, there's two short films we have that feature people that are, like, one was in Halloween 3, the other features someone. Look, eyes just came up. Stacy.
Yeah, I thought Tony was. Say what?
Stacy Nelkin is in the film The Shed. So that's one of our short films by the Mooncats who are coming to that. And then the other one, oh my God, my brain's going to go. Night of the Comet, blonde. You know who I'm talking about, and I can't remember her name.
Oh, now you got me.
Oh, it's going to kill us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Producer lady will let us know within a few minutes.
That she's in one of ours called The Haunted Baby Carriage from Hell.
Oh,
and then outside of that, then I had one that was, it's really good. It involves some actors from Roswell, New Mexico. I was like, what the hell? We are just in all sorts of varieties of stuff. So,
was it Kelly Maroney?
Yes. That's
yes. It. Okay.
I knew. See, as soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah.
But no, and those are just the, like, I hate to throw it out there, but people like hearing a name. Have Harlow's Haunt, which has John Dugan in it as well. So we got a little bit if you want something to see where someone, maybe you've seen them on a big screen, but I would say even outside that, there are so many interesting different ideas that I would have never thought of. We've got something from the UK that's like a folklore vibe. And he's actually coming to the convention as well. So he's going to be in person at the same time. So we'll get to see someone actually from another country actually come to the show at the same time. So I'm excited about that. So I don't know.
International.
Them actually come, but not actually someone happening to be here and coming in person at the same time. So that's nice. So I like that. And I always enjoy seeing some films that maybe people haven't been able to see, that hasn't been at another festival. They're going to be, we like our Florida filmmakers, so we're always going to put a focus on them, but we like trying to find those different films too.
Yes. How many films did you get this year?
I don't know. I can't remember how many I got. I remember how many that was selected.
Yeah.
So because it's out of my bag. I think it's like we have 23 we're showing. We have the most amount of features we've ever shown.
Yes.
And some of them are very, very new. Like The Clock is going to be like maybe the second showing ever. And the other was a private, a more cast and crew showing. I think outside of that, even though it's been shown a couple times, Harlow Haunt aren't going to be shown. The brand new film from the brothers is going to be like brand new. Like they just finished that sound and finishing the last tidbit. So this will be its first real big actual premiere anywhere. And then another one that's maybe the first Florida film is called Slaughter Beach. So that's it. Oh my God, I almost forgot another one. I'm sorry. Cannibal Comedian. It is as interesting and hyped up as it has been, but this is definitely where you want to see it first in Florida because they're going to be out there too. They're very hyper in personality wise, and you can see it in their films. So, sorry, I got really excited talking about the films. There's more, and there's way more. I just want to focus on some of those. So,
I know the one show we did, and I got to watch more because I helped do some of the judging and stuff, and I want to get more into that, and I want to do that more again. It's just I got to find the time to do it, and I got.
You're running the whole show. It's kind of hard to do that and do the film stuff alone is hard just for one person with a team.
Yes.
And now you add in like running the show plus that means you have your family, then you have your other jobs. Most of us have day jobs.
Yeah, everyone has it. You do it. Everyone's got to do it. I just tend to find the time. Maybe not watch them all, but maybe you find some. Hey, these are the ones we want the promoter to look at, promoter's choice or something like that. Because I had a good time doing that. There was some fun ones that were, I would have never have known about them. You know what I mean? And she was like, "Look at these, and then give us your ideas." So I want to do that more.
Those are the people you'll find that will become the next person that makes a WNUF Halloween special. That'll be the next person who's doing the next Volumes of Hell anthology. Or like, I still joke around. I was submitted to the same short film festival as Lights Out, the original short, at the same time. Now, obviously, we were not in that league, but the important part was I saw that short right at its earliest creation. It was made for just that competition, and then I got to see it to be a big screen movie. That's an amazing thing, and not a lot of people get to see it at that early. So that's why some of the film festival films is just amazing, because you can sometimes see people right before and not even realize where they're going to go. So that's why I like it.
Yeah. And, the independent films, like you said, they're going to be the future. I mean, Robert Rodriguez started out that way. Jordan Peele, they did small projects, and then all of a sudden they hit it huge. So why not one of the people from Orlando?
Yeah, and like I said, it's always fun to even see how even when the filmmakers talk together, how their creativity even changes and becomes better each show. That's what I noticed. Yes. I would say the last show was especially where I saw it, where people were talking a little bit more that maybe wouldn't have met if it wasn't for the show and submitted for this festival. And even that helps create a next level of creativity and interest. So I find it very stimulating to be around these type of people and seeing this. So I would love, if anyone even has an interest in anything like that, to come at the festival, talk to the filmmakers. They're in the audience usually, and they're okay. They're more shy than anything. You got to almost drag them up to ask them questions.
Right.
But you can watch something. I know sometimes you may just come in the film room to get some AC and sit down, and that's fine. But enjoy the movie. Maybe you'll see something that's a little different, and then you'll pick up, and maybe you'll think, maybe I want to try and find out what movie that is, and maybe look that up and share that with someone, or find out something more.
All it takes is the one, you spark up a conversation with somebody, and next thing you know, you're talking for 3 hours, and it could lead to something,
Yeah.
Exactly. I was just going to say that, because with with my experience in special effects, I have a lot of people always asking me, how do I get into special effects? Which is a loaded question as it is, but it's like, you have to meet people. And a show like this, a film festival like this, is the perfect opportunity, because you have usually one guy that's wearing a lot of different hats, and they're busting their butts. It's good to network with those people.
Yeah, and that's not just for this. This is for any of convention, anything. There's a lot of ways people get. It's like, I want to get into something.
Yes.
Go where the actors, go where the directors are going.
Mm-hmm.
And usually they are going to promote their stuff because they want people to watch it. Or if you even have a hint of an interest, maybe you just care about FX. You asking them, they have an idea, especially in horror and this industry. Every director at least has a bare knowledge. Maybe not a lot. Maybe you might know more. But depending on what their level, they may direct you to someone else who's really passionate about it. And an FX person will want to come to a horror convention probably a little more than your usual film festival by itself, just because those are usually garnered toward all genres versus just, horror. And in horror, we appreciate, the blood and gore and the extra talent of some of that work more than, maybe someone who's focused on making dramas as well,
Yes.
A little more love and appreciation.
Some of the people that get into horror, it's not that they're easier to do, but, you're more apt to just get out there and do something with a horror film as opposed to, how do you make something deep or philosophical or come up with something that's a sprawling story or something like that. A horror film, you could cut your teeth on something, even if it's 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long. Just get out and do it. You know what I mean? It's not that it's easier, not that it's necessarily quicker. It's just more.
And there's a lot of truth to that, especially more to the line of horror films are made traditionally because there's a built-in audience. Like you can, as long as you make a cheap one, you probably make a profit. If you make it cheap and efficient, like if you're logical about, and that's because there's always a built-in audience. It's the one that's easiest to fudge. If you like fudge the weaknesses, I guess is the best way of putting it. Like if you, worst case, throw extra blood at it, and people will at least enjoy that, or throw a little extra this in it. Do something over the top, because at worst case that'll get something. Whereas you can't really go over the top in a drama, because then it just feels real bad, right? There's not an easy way to do it. But there's a lot of ways to bend it, and there's a lot of ways to do what fits for you. And maybe you're telling a drama in a horror story. Maybe it's something like a musical in a horror musical. There's all these different things, and that's kind of the fun part of it. You can kind of
and never ever underestimate the power of the independent filmmaker, because I mean, we've seen amazing things come out of that ilk. Like, for instance, Sam Raimi started out with a very low budget film in the Evil Dead series, and now he's directing Hollywood blockbusters. So it can happen.
And outside of even that, there's so many more of these newer generations. Let's think about this. I mean, Jordan Peele, we saw him what he was doing before this,
comedy,
and then you see different, and which I think is a great comparison for horror, because it's a beat sort of thing. You're trying to kind of get the right semblance and the right beats and rhythms, and I think there's some of that in horror as well. So his comedic timing probably helped him. He was already a fan too, but helps that. But he's the one you've seen. You see these people who grew up under a different tutelage. The younger, I don't want to say the younger generation, because they're like my age and younger, but really they're coming up from these people of being loved and loving the ones we always thought were the auteurs, like the Carpenters and these others, and they grew up thinking those as their independent icons. And so they're at a different point, but it's good to see that too. And then it all spawns different filmmakers. Some of these kind of get inspired for that and branches into something new. So it's interesting that way.
Absolutely. Well, we are coming up on our second break. We're actually a little bit over. So we're going to take that break now, and when we come back, we'll keep talking with Tony and Shelly from Fantasm Orlando.
Igor, go and get me what I crave. Evening, Igor. If you want a better orange soda, made with more natural orange flavor than ever before, try Shasta. It's got the bright color, the sweet smell, and the great taste of oranges. Shasta. It's the orange soda that can make anybody happy.
I should have worn a costume. Yo, Bo Peep, what you got in your bag?
Introducing Roy Rogers' Big Chicken Deal. 2 plump and juicy pieces of fried chicken, hot, crisp fries, and a fresh baked biscuit. Roy Rogers' Big Chicken Deal, just $1.99.
Don't you even think about it.
Welcome back to another segment of Monster Manor. We're celebrating the coming of the 4th Fantasm Orlando, and we have some of the greatest people that are behind that here tonight. So, one thing I thought about during the commercial break, Shelly, is that with all of this stuff that's going on with the SAG-AFTRA, independent films are pretty much exempt, according to the SAG-AFTRA rules, from a lot of that striking, because they're not in the same ballpark as these mega producers.
Yeah, and they're still going. Not even just these people that are submitting, obviously now, because this was mostly after, but I still know that some people tell me they're still filming their stuff. So for them, they're able to kind of do some of these things that some people can't, and I think that'll be good for the filmmakers, because just like everyone else with COVID, there was a lull from the filmmakers, especially the micro budget and the no budget and of the indie level filmmakers getting back and filming. There was definitely some changes, and you could see that from what was completed prior and what was submitted after, and it's definitely better. But there's still like people still getting into the throes of things. I think it's starting to ramp up a lot better now, so that's good, because I'm hearing people not talking about like one project like 3 years ago. Now they're talking about what they're doing now, what their next thing is. So they're already kind of working on those things. And some people are saying, oh, I could come to the show, but not the whole time because I'm filming something. So I think that's pretty awesome too. So a lot of different things are happening more. And so obviously there will be a point where all we get in major Hollywood land will be reality stuff or something that was already out starting in the works, or something not like film, really here based. So yeah, and the impacts will be for a long time, just because we aren't really seeing that now. If anyone remembers the last time that happened, I would say just remember what happened to Heroes, because it was never the same after that, because their first season was great, and then the second season was impacted all by the strike at the time. And then because they had the shortened season, because they were doing other things. Now, true, there were other things that happened, but there was a lot of that. You can almost say that was the writer's strike, and how it changed drastically. And other shows were impacted, but I think that was the biggest, most drastic, obvious reason. So that'll happen with probably, shows. That's probably going to happen anyway, and kind of at a weird point now with all the different shows and so on in regular things. So why don't you just focus a little bit on the fun stuff that's coming from independent groups, because there's a lot out there. Obviously, we all love our throwbacks. I have a Shudder membership too, and I keep watching movies from 1970 something and 1980 something. I can watch Eyes of Fire 24/7.
Yeah.
But sometimes you want to watch something different, and even on Shudder, you have that, because they have film festivals that they stream. That their shorts are on there, and that's cool to see too. So there's a lot of, even some of the Tubi has some stuff I definitely know has some smaller indie group people who have submitted to us and streamed out there. There's different avenues, but you got to look for it. Unfortunately, that is the thing with finding these. You have to hunt. That's why I say, even at a convention, even if you don't want to, you're going to be seeing the celebrities. Maybe you want to see the bands, or at our convention, paranormals, the panels for that, which are amazing, because you have the whole Warren's legacy stuff and all that, those connections. And then there's some fun panels outside of that, but I know those are the most fun things. I get it. I like cons too, but do that. Take hey, you're gonna need a break anyway. Get the water, come in the film room. It's nice, dark. Watch a few movies. Don't have to watch the features if you want. Just try it. And then see, and there's going to be something that you may have thought, and maybe that's something that'll make you want to be a filmmaker, or maybe it'll say, oh, well, that was interesting, or maybe you'll say, that's the weirdest thing I ever saw, and just go on the rest of your day. But at least it'll be something interesting. I've never gone in a film room and not walked out at least saying, there was something interesting in that film block of some sort. There's always one, maybe not all of them for everyone, but there is always one. So maybe
Yes.
give it a chance while you're taking a break in between getting your celebrity autographs or your photo ops or hearing a creepy story about like the real life nun story or something like that. Come
Yes.
back in, take a little break, and then you can get back on track and spend all your money in the vendor room.
Yes. Yes. And at the very least, this any artists, I don't care if they're the authors or, artists in Artist Alley, it costs nothing to say, hey, I really like your work. Yeah. So even with the filmmakers, if you're going and you see them say, that was awesome, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Some of the most, it sounds so easy to say this, but sometimes just talking to people and saying, man, that was really cool. Like it's for both authors, for you're right, any artist. So authors, filmmakers, probably way more people I'm forgetting about in the artist film, but they put their heart and soul in this, and it's very
absolutely.
hard. It's harder than most of us think. We probably have an idea until we start it and then realize that. But they want it to be loved. Think of it as their children in the most whatever way. And if the worst thing to them is, almost ignoring that.
Yeah.
Acknowledging like, oh, the worst reaction is no reaction and no
Absolutely.
acknowledgement. So even a feedback, maybe they might not like, maybe as long as it's not harsh, like constructed, they actually appreciate that. But most of the time, they're just happy that people asking them about this thing they were passionate enough to spend their time and money, a lot of money sometimes, to put into, with not really a lot you would think of financial in return. Maybe some of them do, but let's be honest, some of them won't. But they get something out of this, and maybe that something is making that film for one person that just happened to be the person sitting in this room that time. Maybe you're that person. Maybe you find a connection in that way. So I don't know. That was it's a community thing, and I think that's one thing more people realize, and us in the horror community know that real well. So filmmakers, horror people, authors, we're all part of the same. Just want to be hearing, hey, how good we did, or hey, what could be improved upon, or hey, just thank you for making something.
Absolutely. So, this is the 4th year for Phantasm, and I believe the 4th year for Shock Reel. Yeah. Who came up with the idea to put a film festival in Phantasm to begin with?
Well, I'll let Tony answer that because I was not here the first year, so he can answer that.
We're like, what can we do? What can we do that's different? What can we do that's we think people would want to come to? And we were like, how about film festival? So, it was just, we mulled over what would be a good title for it because, horror film festival, not that's, it's a very descriptive name and it narrows it down, but what can we do that's catchy? And I said, I don't know, shocking, reels, films are on reels, shock reel, cinema. Let's put cinema in there. So a lot of times we forget that. We forget to add the cinema in there, but that's the full name, Shock Reel Cinema Film Festival. So it was just something that we came up with, and we're like, let's do it. And then, trying to put together a team and who would be a good film festival person. And we eventually landed on Shelly as our go-to permanent film festival person. And let me tell you, everyone loves her. There's the reason the people come back is Shelly.
It's the team, but I think just like what we've been saying, and even though I've talked a lot about it, I think it's about the whole team. We just like appreciating what people put in, and I think sometimes people will overlook certain things that can't be controlled. Maybe they're like, oh, maybe they're not the biggest festival yet. Maybe they're just a smaller one. Why should I spend my money to submit to this festival? Just like it's the audience. And what keeps coming back that we keep hearing, at least what I've heard, I know Tony's probably heard, I know Michelle has heard for sure, is it's our team. How much we seem to be appreciating of our vendors or celebrities or filmmakers, anyone who is part of that, and how we try. We may not be perfect all the time, but we at least try and fix what we can and try and make that relationship right in some way.
Yes.
So that's sometimes it's just saying, yeah, it wasn't right, let's fix it. Or maybe it's sometimes saying, man, that's really cool that you did that. It depends on the situation, but most of the time people just want to be heard and know that you're really paying attention to whatever their complaint or whatever their art form is. So,
right.
Yeah.
Every area, there's always going to be problems. There's always going to be something that goes wrong or something that's not exactly perfect. Like she said, as long as you make the effort to try to fix it, people will remember that, and they'll remember how you're treating them, and they'll remember that, yeah, there was problems, but they fixed it, or they tried to deal with it. And that's why she says with the team, every department, that team does the best for that team or for that department, and they try to make it to where that's the focus. Let's make it to where everyone is really appreciative of how much we appreciate them. And that goes for everybody across the board, whether it's Terry in the art show or Michelle with guests, who's hugely important in that area. Shelly with the film festival, Ashley with social media, everybody that deals with security, everything, registration, everybody tries to do their best with their area and try to make, fix everything. And if their problems come up, they try to deal with it.
Right. And you have been consistent with adding, what do they call it? The extra factor for, conventions that give people that entertainment value after they pay their money and walk around the dealer's room. There's a lot going on with Phantasm.
Yeah, try to make it to where there's something going on where you want people to have fun and you want them to do everything that they want to do, but sometimes it's not, not conducive. They have to make a choice. We want something going on at all times.
Right.
So there's something to do. There's no lulls.
Right. We have, in addition to the film festival, we have special effects that Alan O is doing from AEO Studios. We have the art, like you said, the art viewing and artists' tables. What else? The costume contest.
Yeah, and actually Sunday will be for the people who are into cosplaying or effects. That's what we're calling our cosplay day. Obviously, first we have Alan doing a little demo or display. I don't know, maybe I'm getting the wrong, but he's going to show off some of his talent. And that's, I think, like a 1 o'clock panel, but it's going to be around that day on Sunday. Then follow that up, we have regular panelist, regular, that sounds wrong, but like a attendee hosted panel where it's basically about cosplaying and kind of that, regular person in the audience view. And then next one will be Ashley, who is interviewing some of our cosplayers for Stranger Things, the two we have. She's going to interview with them, have some questions for the audience, and then take some photos there. And then we're straight on into costume contest. So you can spend almost that whole afternoon Sunday just doing nothing but something with effects or something with cosplay all Sunday. So that alone for, Sunday, I know sometimes is the, hey, it's the ramp down day. I would say that would be something I'd be really excited about myself. We do always have our paranormal panels. I think Bill's gotten like something for every day, like almost like Saturday is the most jam-packed.
Yeah.
We've got something almost every time in the afternoon, evening time every day. And then on Sunday, just that whole afternoon has a lot of stuff too. So, and then we have two bands. We have Sid Stratton, who was here from last year, and he's that band's returning again. And then we have the Cunningham Wakes. They're going to be playing with us on Saturday night. And then we also have, outside of obviously Boris's show Friday night, we also have burlesque at midnight on Friday night with Theatrical Rejects. And then Saturday night, we also have, in between the bands, starting off Rocky Horror Picture Show with In the Flesh, so a shadow cast. So we've got a little bit more stuff there. We also have some fun little entertainments in the lobby area. So not where you were last year, but right across from that, because I think they had to fix that area, and you're in the better premier vendor room. But around that area, we're going to have some entertainment going on in the evenings as well, including belly dancing, and then some performance group doing something. Right. So it's going to be a little bit of fun stuff while in the nighttime, as well as during the fun stuff during the day with the celebrity panels, which we've got one for the Night of the Demons on Saturday. We also have a trick or treat one, which you are moderating, hosting, and that's also on Saturday. So
Yes.
that should be fun. And then we also we have some Phyllis on Friday doing a Q&A. So just a lot of different things. And I would say for your Night of the Demons, you could watch the panel on Saturday. You could go ahead and then watch the screening that we're going to show later with Nick Benson. And then you can, throughout the day, get your photo op. So if you wanted to come just one day for your Night of the Demons fix, Saturday might be the best day because you get your panel and your photo ops and your autographs and all that fun stuff and photos and all that. So nothing will interrupt you from getting it. We've made sure that the schedules line up so that way no problems on doing any of that, all that if you wanted to. So
yes, it's going to be a lot to do. You will not be bored at this show.
You know, I felt like, I don't know how many people watch Shudder like myself, but Friday they were showing the Joe Bob's episode when, I guess last year when he was at the Mahoney Drive-In, maybe it was last year, 2 years ago, I can't remember. And they were showing Night of the Demons. Yep. And they had Amelia and they had Lynette, and it almost felt like it was like a nice little hint of what could be at our show, but more because we have both of those ladies and much more of the group. Obviously, we've got like Hal and Elizabeth.
Yes.
We have Billy. We have Donnie. I'm forgetting other. I feel like I'm forgetting another actor. I am.
Alvin.
Thank you, Alvin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did I forget him? And then Kevin and we're gonna have a pretty big group. I think this will be the first time Amelia's even been in Florida for a convention. So whatever hate you saw at that Joe Bob showing last Friday night, or you can watch it on demand, probably you get even a little bit more of that this weekend.
Yes.
So that's all I would say. If you like that episode, come on down, spend this weekend in Orlando, or maybe Saturday at least, so that way you can enjoy all your Night of the Demons.
Yes. And there is no excuse, because we know a lot of people are going to be in the area for Halloween Horror Nights. That starts at night. Come to the show, see what's going on, meet the real stars that inspired stuff like that.
And honestly, what I love about this is like the hotel we're at is right at the entrance. If you were so inclined, and not me, because I know what walking in Florida heat is like, you could just, walk to it, or you can take a little $5 Uber ride too.
Right.
So,
it's literally right there.
Shuttle like most of the other hotels?
I don't know if they have a shuttle or not. Do you know, Tony, if they have a shuttle that takes you over to the theme parks from Doubletree?
I can look that up right now.
They do during the day, so you would just have to, if you were doing that, they would be able to drop off, but they don't go past the midnight or 11 o'clock. So you would have to get
there, but you can't get back.
I mean, there's Uber. There's
You get a cab back, but they can shuttle you there.
I mean, I guess you could walk back, but I'm not walking back at 1 a.m. down there. In the heat in Florida, it's going to be like 70, 80 degrees in the heat with a bunch of drunk people and probably have to step over the puke. I'd rather just take
and the humidity. You'll be melted by the time you get to where you're going.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a walk, but it's not terrible. You know what I mean? If you're going to walk at a park anyway, you're going to be.
I don't want to walk on the way back.
Right.
I'm just seeing where, like, if she answered the question, I'm seeing that they do have shuttles, but I don't see if it's.
I think I've been there before, and they do it, but I think they only drop off, and I think they have a scheduled thing. So that would be the front desk option. But hey, like, where else would you stay? That's the closest off property. That's not on property you could get.
Oh yeah.
So
we also are offering a special if you show your pass from Halloween Horror Nights. You get a little bit of a break on ticket price. So.
And what is the little bit of a break on ticket price?
$5 off.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's nice to tell me what the break is.
Did you put that up there about Boris?
What?
Yeah, Boris.
No more specials from Boris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're
into that, but there he is.
No, there is going to be no free tickets, but we do have a winner to announce for our promotion that we did.
It's right after this commercial break.
Oh, we got to take a commercial break? Okay, well, there's the cliffhanger. We'll be right back with more from the crew from Phantasm and the winner announcement for our share contest.
You're going to do a scene with Boris Karloff. Your lines will appear right here. Read them loud and clear.
Come in. You know why I've asked you here. You must convince the villagers that I'm harmless. You're trembling. Are you afraid? Have some nice hot coffee. It's butternut. Like it? Butternut has found a way of making coffee richer without being bitter. Butternut has found a way of making coffee richer without being bitter. Take this. Oh, don't
welcome
worry.
back to
I've lots
our
more.
celebration of Phantasm. And before the break, we were going to give the winner. This person actually, they were far and above everyone else. I hope they're actually on here tonight. But they had 42 shares over the 3 shows that we were doing with the promotion. 42 shares. So they were above and beyond most of the other people. And we're grateful for everyone that helped with that, because the point is, get the word out. You have this great show with Phantasm. Get the word out. Don't keep it under a rock, you know? So, yeah, we want to announce Molly Zombie with 42 shares. They're the winner of the weekend package, generously donated to us by your folks at Phantasm. So that's Tony up there and Shelly and the rest of the crew. So we'll be in contact with Molly to let it's actually a him, but the Molly Zombie is the character. So you will get to know him, and I think it's great. You know, it's great that you offer that and get some people in without Boris's intervention.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
So
at least it's not Boris's intervention, though.
yes, because he wants to give away tickets, and I know he likes the show, but come on, man.
Gotta make a little money.
That's why we have to keep doing the disclaimer. So, what is next for you guys? You're getting ready for the show now. So, for those that are coming as vendors and stuff like that, what's the game plan for tomorrow?
They're finishing up the room, and then vendors start loading in at 6 p.m. and they go till midnight for the vendors, and then back in Friday morning at 8 to 2, and then doors open for the vendors hall at 3 o'clock.
And that's when the chaos starts for the weekend.
Well, the chaos has started already, but that's when for the public.
Public.
No, that's when the vendors start. We have films starting at 1 now.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, so we definitely are having that. So come on down, see some of the films if you get there early. Like maybe, hey, take off lunch and say, hey, I had food poisoning, and use the rest of your lunch period. Just go on over to the hotel.
Just stay off Facebook.
Yes.
Save those pictures for like later, like tomorrow or Sunday, or wait a week or two and say it's a different show a week or you posted it. People will forget.
Yes. Well, Tony and Shelly, I got to thank you guys, and I thank you on behalf of all the fans that are probably waiting to get in now. Thank you for doing this. I know it's a lot of work, but you and the team are just phenomenal. All the behind the scenes people, thank you. Nothing but props for you guys. I mean, you busted your tail to make this show happen.
Thank you for everything you've done as well. You really go above and beyond.
Well, we love you guys, you know? I mean, we're in this together, right?
It's 100%. You guys, you, producer lady, and obviously Boris have been a part of it. Obviously, I don't know since how long, but since my first year, which is year 2, and
yes,
you guys have been so helpful for us in the film festival, and not just that, but for the conventions as a whole. So it's a fun little bonding relationship, but I think we both help out so much, and we appreciate what you've done to help us as well.
Absolutely.
Well, we love you guys, and we didn't get a chance to really talk about this, but this is the award for this year, right?
Yes, and it is obviously, let's brag on who designed it and who made it. That would be you to brag about yourself.
I don't need that. But I'm excited. I'm excited because this year we went up a notch, and it's actually a faux bronze with a beautiful patina. So if you won one last year and you're lucky enough to win another one, they'll actually be different looking. So
yeah, so that's a little bit something different. That's all about. It's just a little different, something a little more spicing up. So just showing our appreciation. The same with the unique trophies, so that we can do this.
Marble for next year. Okay, she's got her vote in.
My vote for next year is marble.
Marble.
So it looks like stone. We've got bronze statue.
We can do that. So we're excited though, and again, thank you guys so much for all your hard work. We can't wait to see you. It's literally like 48 hours away, and we'll be there.
We'll be there.
Not even that.
24 hours.
Yeah. By this time tomorrow, we'll be inside Phantasm.
Yep, and we'll be all pulling our hair out.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
come on, everyone, come on out. Have a great weekend. We want to see everybody.
Yeah. Celebrate. This is awesome. 4th year, right?
4th year.
And you come out, you meet other fun people. Maybe you'll end up having a drink. Maybe you'll end up finding the perfect movie, or maybe your perfect horror mask. I don't know. There's a little variety for everyone. So. Well,
I found my bride at a convention. It wasn't a horror convention. We weren't that lucky, but we met at a convention. So you never know. It could be a love connection, right?
Yeah. Definitely. There's always something different. And at the very least, I've met some of my closest friends that are like family at conventions. So there's always something.
So it's always something.
That's true. At Gillibration, we had a proposal on the dock there by the lagoon.
Oh, awesome.
So magic can happen at these things. It's like, it's a big party. It's a holiday,
Yep.
So any parting words, Tony?
Just like I said, we want everyone to come out and have a great time, and we look forward to seeing you. It's our 4th year, and we're looking to keep it going. So we need your support, and we want to support you as well. So have a
That's
great time.
www.phantasmofficial.com. They can get the entire schedule, everything that they need, ticket sales, everything. Or is ticket sales still open, or is that closed?
Ticket sales online are closed. They're tickets at the doors.
Okay. So you'll at least get pricing and all that stuff on the website.
Correct.
And then we just hope to see everyone there because this, like I said, this show is too special to just, keep in the corner.
Thank you very much for the kind words.
All right, guys. We'll see you very soon.
Thank you,
Love
Scott.
you
Bye,
all.
Shelly. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Shell.
Bye.
So that is our group from Phantasm, and over the last few years they've become family. So actually for me that was pretty fast. And I always got to give a shout out to Larry Rawlinson because he was the guy that said, "Hey, you should talk to these people, and hey, you should talk to this dude, he's starting a podcast. And there we had Vaporware, we were a brand new podcast, and they had faith in us. And now we're on television, we're on Tingler Television, on Roku and all that, so we're growing together. And I want to see nothing more than success for Phantasm in a year 5, in a year 10, in a year 15. Come and check it out. It's a good show, and I think you'll be hooked on it too. So we're going to wrap this up tonight. No real huge thing to announce, except, Molly Zombie being the winner of the share. 42
I did
shares.
reach out to them and said that they should be hearing from you. That they
Yes,
so
yes. So we'll let them know.
They have a company called VFX, I think.
VFX?
And they make these really cool props that, with the jumping thing. It's really, really, really cool.
Yeah, so we're going to have fun this weekend. It's going to be awesome. Just come out, check it out. You won't be disappointed. So, on behalf of all of us, thank you for watching this Road to Phantasm Special Edition. The next time you see us, we're going to be broadcasting right from the show. So, Boris has his red carpet, and of course we have all the stuff that we're going to be doing with the celebrity guests there, panel and interviews as we go. So, come out and check it out. And again, that's www.phantasmofficial.com. And on behalf of everyone here, we thank you for joining us, and please have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
You have created a monster and will destroy you.
She's alive! Alive!
I am Dracula.